Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, each week we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're wondering when school starts again, we'll be caching in the Northwest. And tonight we are going to talk about the week in between GeoWoodstock and the 20th anniversary celebration, where to go, what to see, maybe some of those important caches that you really should hit. So with that in mind, live audience, we want your interaction as well. We can't do this without you. We've tried. It's no fun. Well, I guess we can, but we don't like it. Now, Wits End may be joining us here in a moment, but until he does, it's time to bring in our tired Tamarin. Some say he's banned for Las Vegas for running a masterminding a card counting scheme. And others say the only inflation he's worried about is keeping air in his bouncy house. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
I could go for a bouncy house right about now. That sounds pretty good. A bottle of whiskey and a bouncy house. I'll see you guys all in Seattle.
Oh, too much fun. Hey, good to see you. I understand you're a little tired tonight.
I am a lot tired tonight. Yeah, it's had a heck of a day. Obviously, we're also busy with the final preps for GeoWoodstock on top of having a heck of a work day, and I'm on call. So, stars align. I'm being punished for something. So I may as well just be really, really bad tonight because I'm already being punished.
Yeah. Oh, being on call is no fun. It's that tension in the air that you just may get a call at any moment.
Yep. And you probably will. But usually around 2 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, when it or maybe 5 when it's like, you know, can you wait a couple hours? I'm going to be in the office anyway.
All right. So what are we talking about?
MC3 Cat says whiskey in a bouncy house can't be a good thing.
All things in moderation.
The whiskey or the bouncy house?
Yes.
Okay.
The bouncy house to just kind of relax and roll around in. There you go. Exactly. Like Chris said, what could possibly go wrong? All right.
Get a short bottle of whiskey. It pops the bouncy house.
Why you got to bring down? Why you got to bum out my buzz?
Oh, do I have to harsh your mellow?
Yeah, harsh my mellow. Don't harsh my mellow. All right. No harsh mellows here. All right.
Okay.
Hey, you know what though? It is time to thank our patrons. Thank all of our patrons who help this podcast coming each and every week, and we hope to see all you patrons next week when you come and visit the Caching in the Northwest crew at GeoWoodstock at the Influencers tent. So right smack dab in the middle of all the excitement.
Everything that's going on?
Everything that's going right in the heart of everything is the influencers. And it'll be Caching in the Northwest. It'll be Podcacher. It'll be Cache Canada. It'll be from last week's show, Cache the Line. So
nice. I like all those caching people.
Yeah. There's a theme with their names too. I haven't quite put my finger on it yet, but there's something there.
There's an ache right in the middle.
There'll be the achy breaky heart of GeoWoodstock. But yeah, you know what? We do thank all of you patrons and everyone who subscribes to the podcast as well. All of you make it possible for us to keep doing this. And a special shout out and thanks to Landsharks. They are one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. And Landsharks sends a little message along this week. And they say they are also looking forward to seeing everybody at GeoWoodstock. Encourage you to, of course, say hi at the Shark store. That will be on site there. But also, reminder to please bring your sunscreen. Because while we do have some tents, you're going to be out in the sun. And even when you're not at GeoWoodstock, you're out caching. It's going to be sunny. So the temperatures right now look like we're not going to have another heat dome during GeoWoodstock, which is good news. But it will be sunny and warm. So definitely bring your sunscreen and bring a refillable water bottle of some sort, because we will have water stations at GeoWoodstock, as we discussed a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. But it's going to be important to keep yourself hydrated.
Exactly.
So that's the special message from our friends at Landsharks. And our other corporate Denali level sponsor, well, that's Gold Country Geotourism. And they want to remind you to plan your trip up to Gold Country and come and see them at GeoWoodstock. They will have a booth at GeoWoodstock. They would love to talk to you all about the Gold Country Geo Tour, all the events that are coming up this September, and the new Geo Tour release and all the cool stuff going on there. So it is just going to be a great time to see lots of people, ask lots of good questions, and learn many new things. So check out, if you can't catch them at GeoWoodstock, well, check them out online at exploregoldcountry.com.
Oh, how very nice.
Yeah.
Goldcountry.com.
And you know what, Chris?
Do tell.
If somebody wanted to support this podcast, do you know what they would do?
I usually don't, because I'm not listening to this part of the podcast, but maybe I should start right now.
That's funny. Neither do I. So,
well. Yeah. It is funny how that thing works out, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? I think I know what you should do.
Yeah. Should you click the Patreon link?
That's exactly it. Right there.
And where is that Patreon link?
On the geocaching. No. Why do I do that?
I don't think it is.
No. It's
not on the Geo Gearheads website either, Chris.
No. It's on the cashingnw.com, a website.
There you go.
A website. I don't know why you have to put the extra vowel in there, but I think it's a Canadian thing.
It's a Canadian thing. It's either an A or a U. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, that's the
unless you're referring to somebody AU, then you use them both. You're welcome. Okay. Now, folks, even though I may not listen to sections of the podcast, I do know what time it is right now. It's time for the glow. And that's the geocaching log of the week. So whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it, because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a recording to feedback@cashingnw.com. Of course, you can call in to 253-693-TFTC and show us just how you glow.
Indeed.
Tonight's glow comes from IHAM. Now, you've heard of this fellow.
I know IHAM. Good guy.
Yes. And in his best Twilight Zone-esque introduction, submitted for your consideration as a glow. His log for GC8W2TB, which I had to go look up, was honoring Peach and Pete in memory of Pete. Very
cool. And what a cool GC code. Ends in 2TB.
Oh, 2TB. Or not TB. That is the question. IHAM starts off with happy birthday to me. I got the smiley. Monkey Cakes and I saw this one this morning. I wanted to wait and give Peach and Pete a chance. I ran a couple of errands and saw it had been logged, then went for it. Took a couple of minutes at ground zero to find the container and get our names on the log. The fun thing is that we had found the previous prying Pandora cache at this spot exactly 15 years ago to the day. Now, this was from last year, so that was July 4th, 2005. This one's July 4th, 2020. Oops, sorry, I missed a year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Thank you to the CO for a well-placed cache honoring some folks that really deserve recognition and embrace. And remembrance.
Yeah.
And remembrance. Sorry, I was working hard right up to the podcast, so I'm in a different state of mind than I'm normally in.
Yeah, so you dropped the first three letters and the fourth letter.
And then move things around.
That's pretty cool. I like the way your brain works.
When you see Peach, give her a hug, give her an embrace.
There you go.
Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud.
Awkward moments ahead. All right.
That's right.
Well, folks, if you want to participate in tonight's podcast, you can use hashtag between in the chat to add your comments or questions. The chat lackey will try and get on top of them for us and bring them to our attention. And, if you got something that's not really related to tonight's topic, but you want to talk about it anyways, well, that's what hashtag FTAS is for. Hashtag FTAS. I believe that is for the after show. I'm not sure what the acronym stands for. And lastly, if you want to use, if you want to tell us what you're cooking, well, that's what hashtag podcast baking is all about.
Somebody's already got that hashtag podcast baking out there flying around.
Look at that, eh? Still on top of things tonight. Good.
That's right.
Make my job easier. I need that.
So tonight, I've had a couple of people ask me, what are some of the don't miss caches in the area, in that week between GeoWoodstock and the 20th anniversary celebration? So in that week between, we have talked about the triad. You have to go get those, right? We've talked about Gold Country. You have to go get those. Well, maybe not all of them.
At least 24 or 25 of them. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Make sure you get your sticker book and don't lose it and use it. Right? If you want that gold bar coin,
if you really want to amp up the difficulty level and you are a English only speaker, get the French or German edition of the Gold Country book. And now it's all of a sudden become a D5.
Maybe
D4.5.
Okay, there you go. And you're learning a language at the same time. You already know how to go out and find caches. Do you know how to find them in French or German? How about Czech? Let's
How
about Czech? Czech is in the mail.
There you go.
So I thought, I'm going to do these in a little different order than the show notes, because I think we'll do from north to south.
Okay.
As we go along. So,
and if we're going to talk about north to south, and I know we're going to jump, we're talking about the premise of jumping right down into Washington and getting going, but I want to remind folks that there is a Geo tour now in Abbotsford. Yes, so you're going to want to carve a little, before you rush down to Seattle, you're going to want to carve a little time out to do some caching up in our neck of the woods. So,
so you have the Abbotsford Geo tour.
That's brand new.
The Richmond Geo tour.
Yep.
You've got 4 Gold Country Geo tours.
It seems like it.
Is it 4 or is it 3?
It's right now it's 1 with a second one coming, but the one that's there has had 3 phases to it.
Okay.
But it's been the same Geo tour expanded. But now there's a new one coming. So and there's also another one out in Sicamous, which is a little further north in British Columbia. And then there's the Amazing Places Geo Tour on Vancouver Island. So I want to also share with everybody that British Columbia is now the official Geo Tour capital of Canada, with the most Geo Tours of any province. So,
wow,
there you go.
I'd just say the world. I mean, come on.
Well, no, that's a little crazy, but we will definitely say the Geo Tour capital of Canada is British Columbia.
Nice. So, I mean, right there, you can spend an entire week. You're not going to get all of Gold Country, but you're going to see some absolutely amazing places. You're going to be able to get all the others that we mentioned. So, wow,
tons to do. But so once you've cleaned out all of southern British Columbia, found all the caches in southern British Columbia, where to next, Chris?
Well, then you could head across the border if you had to. One of the areas I thought was Whidbey Island. Whidbey is actually a beautiful place. It's just off
my favorite parts of Washington State is Whidbey.
Yeah, it's just west of I-5, easy to get to. And coming from the north, there's no ferry. You drive right onto it. Right? You could drive down and take the ferry south and continue on your journey. But there's some great geocaches on Whidbey Island. And I went by favorite points, right? Okay. So we look at some of the Washington State Park 100s. That was the 100 geocaches to celebrate 100 years of Washington State Parks. Fort Worden is up there, 234 favorites. I mean, that's one that is really nice. Another great place to visit is Deception Pass. Now, don't be deceived. You're going to see a great view. It's worthwhile to go out on that bridge.
You kind of, I mean, you're going to go that way to get to Whidbey Island. So
if you're coming from the north
there anyways
to the south, you've got to go over Deception Pass. So worthwhile, 231 favorite points. And I think Wits End has joined us. I'm going to add him to the stream at the moment.
Excellent.
Why? Hello, Wits End.
Hey,
buddy.
Oh, you're surprised. You didn't think we would add you.
Thursday?
It feels that
I've
way.
been here for a few minutes.
Yeah. I saw your video jumping in and out, so I waited till it stabilized a bit.
It's more stable than I am.
I was going to say, if we're waiting for people to stabilize, I'm not sure why I'm on the podcast, but.
But yes, Whidbey Island's nice. And there's a webcam on Whidbey Island.
Yes.
Yes, there is.
Good point.
And a couple of virtuals.
I was just going to say a couple of cool virtuals as well. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking through your list here. There's some great spots, of course. EB Bluffs, which is it EB or Ebby? I think it's EB, right?
eBay. Yeah. eBay.
Yeah. Not eBay, but anyways, which is back a few episodes when JT Coffee was on. That was one of the hikes that she was recommending. So that would definitely be one. There's one on your list that was pointed out. It's a Crouch Crew cache. That's a tongue twister. And it is in the Fidalgo Island, the north part, in Anacortes, just outside of Anacortes. And it was recommended to the land monkeys by some other cachers, and they used to live there, and they said, "Oh, you got to go check this place out. It's so cool, and there's a cache there." So we went for it, and it's really neat. It's called Abandoned Amphitheater, and it's kind of all in the name. There's this old amphitheater that's all grown over, but you can still kind of take a little skinny trail down to it, and it has a view out over onto the ocean. So it used to be when it was a state park, I guess, or maybe it still is, but people would go there for an evening speaking or performance or whatever, with the backdrop of the Pacific Ocean and people just sitting on the rings of the tiered stones that are now sort of growing over. It is such a cool spot. So that one I really would suggest putting on your list.
Yeah, great. Some great geocaches up there. Trying to see some of the others. I know I found you've got a Bug In, Bug Out TV hotel, also by the Crouch Crew.
Yep. Yeah, they put out great caches and great ALs. So if you see Crouch Crew, that should just help caches make your list right there.
Should we mention another one of theirs? It's another one of the Washington State Parks 100, Rosario Beach.
Neat place. Yeah, really neat place there too.
Yeah.
I think Rosario Beach is a bit more of a walk, but if you got the time, enjoy it. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah.
So from there,
I was going to say, is there a way to share these lists that we're reading through with our listeners? Do you want to post them on the social later?
I could do that. Yeah.
Post them on the Facebook and Twitter as images later, and then people can reference these. Because you guys have done a good job of. I did none of this work, by the way. This was all Chat Lackey and Chris, and Jim and I are just too tired to do any of this. So we're like, thanks, guys.
I've put in a long week. I'm right there. So
I'm too tired to even get here on time. So
well, there you go.
Jim, I barely beat you in. So,
and he just started talking after the music played, so he wasn't doing much.
No,
before.
Trying to take the night off. All right. So yeah, that's a great idea. Well, it's my idea. Of course, it's a great idea. Share those on the social later. So if people want to see these lists, they can.
I think our chat lackey could help with that.
Yeah, he could probably do it right now. I don't know.
So
that's my favorite emoticon he's doing.
Yeah. I don't know. So after you hit Whidbey, and maybe Fidalgo, right? So you've hit that area. Right. I just wanted to group them by areas, right? So that as you're driving through, you go, oh, coming up on Whidbey Island, I've heard there's good geocaches there. The next really big area is Seattle. And there are great caches all throughout Seattle. There's a lot of mystery caches if you're into that. Of course, you shouldn't skip the HQ Geo Tour if you haven't done it. No?
No, I'm being facetious. It is a great
Okay.
Geo tour. Absolutely do it.
And also in that area is the HQ locationless caches. Now, we're not going to talk about those, the two, right? The frog and the neat, GC8 frog and GC8 neat. They continued them on. If
Oh, is that where the icons are?
that's technically where they are, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, they're location.
They're locationless. You don't need a location, but nonetheless, right? So if you want to be technical, they're there. The most favorite in that area is one that if you knew TV in the late 80s, early 90s, you knew this spot. And this is Cary Park, the Cary Viewpoint Park. And it is just outside of Seattle proper, but looking at it. And it's on a nice, what would I say? Is it on a hill? Is it on a cliff?
Yeah, it's up on Queen Anne Hill, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
it's the postcard view that everybody thinks of when they think of Seattle, looking out Fraser Crane's office window or apartment window. I never watched the show.
Window. Yep.
Yeah. Space Needle in the foreground, skyscraper in the behind it on the horizon, Mount Rainier off in the distance. If you catch it, especially at sunset on a clear day, it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Right.
You watch the ferries go in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is a virtual, and that's an old virtual. It's not one of the new virtuals.
Yeah,
so.
look at that. GC62C8. That is old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool.
Yeah, it's outside of downtown proper, but it allows you to look down on downtown proper, and totally worth it to stop there.
Yep.
Next one,
and we all want to look down on downtown. So
exactly.
Or just avoid it.
Yeah, but one of those.
Next one's by a cacher that I don't think I've met, but I found several of his caches. Dayspring, and he does the Totally Tubular series, and they involve, well, guess what? A tube of some type. Each one is different. They were gadget caches before gadget caches were popular.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is Totally Tubular 2, and totally worth it. Go hit Dayspring's Tubular series. Yeah.
Those caches have been copied a lot, eh? Like there's
yes.
So it's possible that cachers have found caches like it, but then like this is the grandpapa of them all, right?
Right. Exactly. So. And right after that, of course, is Totally Tubular 3. So, again, more Totally Tubulars. Now, when we talk about these city areas, we also have to talk about certain geocachers in the Northwest that have gone out above and beyond, like Dayspring, to make great caches. And the next one is a Goblin Dust cache. So if you search for Goblin Dust caches, his tend to be south a bit more, but he does have one in the Seattle area, Bingo with Darth Vader. Because, who wouldn't want to play bingo with Darth Vader?
Well, if you play bingo with Darth Vader, is it a blackout?
Oh,
I would think it would have to be.
Also, just let him win.
Yeah, just let him win. Yeah.
I have a new idea.
How he gets.
Let the Wookiee win.
Let the Wookiee win. Exactly. Before he tears your arms off.
That's right. I mean, I could sit here and read these caches and memories just come flooding back of when I found them. Octopus's Gardens of Watery Delights right down there at the pier. Isn't that a great name?
I just love the name.
Yeah. There's one, if you've got kids with you, perhaps you know about the Dinosaur Train. This is a PBS series, cartoon series, I believe.
Is that the one under the lamppost? Like right by the arcade?
Yeah, exactly.
Just outside of
right near the local
Center.
PBS station in Seattle. Yeah.
I think that one used to be a lot more clever than it is now. Because it's got an awful lot of favorite points, and I found it in the spring, and I was like, that's a lot of favorite points.
You're right. It has changed.
Not remarkable at this point in time, but hey,
nonetheless, it has almost 400 favorites. So now is it peer pressure? Well, if it's got 400, I may as well put one on.
I wouldn't even say that, but what I would say is that if you're going to the celebration, the 20th anniversary celebration,
it's right there.
It's right there. So just find it. Now, there's another one that's right there, and I'm not sure if it's on your list here. That I think it is right in the World Wide Web. Is that in here? It's not in your list. Didn't make your list. Okay, World Wide Web should be.
I couldn't put them all on there.
I know there's too many, but it is like right in the middle of Seattle Center Park. It's on the side of the monorail station, so you're gonna be there, and it's a really clever. I highlighted it in my video. Komakino highlighted it in his video showing the Seattle Center. So, watch either of our videos and see what we're talking about. But that one is super duper cool.
Wits End, you took me to that, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I took it there.
Yeah.
It was well done. It was fun.
Back to the totally tubular caches. IHAM says, don't forget the batteries and or jumper cables.
Read the description.
Yeah.
Yeah, plan ahead.
J-Car says the Dayspring doesn't cache any longer, and his caches have started to be archived, so get them while they're still active.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Good advice.
And
somebody adopt them.
There you go. Dayspring would have to start that process, though.
Yeah.
You can't forcefully adopt. CRS98 says most Goblin Dust caches are in Kitsap County across the Puget Sound. Well worth a day to take a ferry and find them. Without a doubt.
Yeah. Great caches there.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Chat Lackey, thank you very much. Guest Station Tuna had said, what's the GC code? So it's GC7 Victor Tango
November.
Thank you. 3 worldwide. And the Chat Lackey says it only has only 302 favorite points, so it didn't make the list. But yeah. It has 302 very well-deserved favorite points.
Yes.
And like I said, you're going to be right there. So
yeah,
just find it.
Well, there's another one just right there. It's called the Seattle Space Needle.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I know.
And it's there?
It's a new virtual.
Nice.
So that one's a highly favorited one. If you're going to be where HQ is, there's one just outside, late for the interurban.
I love that.
That's fun. It's a virtual as well.
That's a virtual, and I am really interested in hearing people's stories about how long it takes them to find all the answers to the virtual. Oh. There's one answer that can take you a little bit of time.
Yep. And lackeys can be staring down at you while you're looking.
Yeah.
I found it. I found it while I was visiting headquarters. I can't remember if I was early or it was afterwards, but they were, trying to get my attention from up in the windows, and I wasn't looking up there, so I never saw that.
You were looking the opposite direction because you tried to find the answer.
Yeah.
Too funny.
I think I found that during a JT Coffee morning coffee event right there outside of HQ.
Nice. So recently you found it then?
Yeah, it's been the last year or two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What else you got, Chris?
Pike Place Market.
Ah, of course.
Right? You're in Seattle. You're going to go visit it anyway. Grab the virtual that's there. Yeah, and catch a fish.
Why not? and remember to call it Pike Place.
Pike Place Market.
Yes.
Not Pike's Place?
No.
I said Pike. Right, I've been working on it
correctly.
You did fine. No, you did fine.
Good. Thank you.
That is a common mispronunciation, isn't it?
It is.
I didn't know this.
I don't know.
I think it's because it sounds right. Possessive.
And Pike's Peak is a Pike's, not Pike. So who knows? Because people are just wrong. That's why.
Right here, this guy who has 2 thumbs and is wrong. This guy.
Wet Coaster is asking me while we're in Seattle. Wet Coaster is asking, is there still a cache at the gum wall? And I don't think there is. I think it got archived.
I can't remember. I know
Please
there
tell
was.
me about
I know it was at least disabled when they cleaned the gum wall. But we're checking. Oh yes, White UDAC says at Pike Place you can catch a fish and get in line for a drink at the OG Starbucks, the original. That's where it all started.
Oh, gee, Starbucks.
Oh, Jay Carr says that's the way we know if you're a local or not.
Yeah, local.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
that's
Pike
right.
versus Spikes. Yeah. I love it. Way to go, Jim.
But that Pike Place Market virtual is a bounce cash. So there you go.
Nice. Well, speaking of bounce caches, did you want to point any other ones out? Because my gosh, if you're looking for some quality physical caches,
Choose Wisely is the current gum wall cache. It's not the original.
choose wisely. That's funny. I still have zero inclination to go and look for that cache.
I did it one day.
Yeah.
Gloves are available now, right? You just slip on a glove and off you go, feeling around.
Still no thanks.
Yeah, okay.
I'm good to let that one go.
Let's bounce back to bounce for a moment.
Let's do that.
He's got what 1, 2, 3, 4 on this list, on this short list of must-do caches in Seattle. Coffee Break, Pike Place Market, virtual. Looking, I lost it. It Takes Three. It Takes Three has to be one of the best.
Seattle.
It's within 20 miles of Seattle.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to step away for 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
We'll miss you. It Takes Three is in
like
east there.
I want to say Eatonville, but that's not it.
No.
Anyway, that's has to be one of the best gadget type caches.
That one is super cool.
You can't do it on your own. You can't do it with 2 people. You Issaquah. You need 3. It Takes Three.
Thank you, Chat Lackey. And yes, sheesh is totally appropriate.
Yeah. And then Annabum Hotel, Annabum TB Hotel.
What about your TV hotel?
Annabum.
That is a weird name for a community, but yes.
It is.
Yeah, another really great bounce cache. I mean, honestly, hard to go wrong if you just look for caches by bounce. Same with Goblin Dust. Same with Dayspring. I mean, just there's a lot of real high quality cache creators down in that area. Birthplace of geocaching. Seems appropriate, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Now, if we move down a little farther,
okay,
the next metropolis we hit along the I-5 corridor is Tacoma.
Oh.
And guess what? There's more bounce caches. And then we start to get some Team Noltex caches. And you've heard all these names before on this podcast.
That's another Team Noltex is another cacher name to look for quality caches for sure.
Yeah.
The other one that's down in this area, I guess kind of between Seattle and Tacoma, is the Space Flight Academy, also featured in my recent video about planning your trip to Seattle, because that is one of the super duper rare partnership attribute caches. So if you want the partnership
there you go.
That's one of the very few caches in the world that has that attribute.
That one will require an entry fee.
It will.
So you have to go through the Museum of Flight, which is
it's so
a bummer if you have to go through there.
Yeah.
It's just such a bummer because, I could spend an entire day and forget to geocache.
Yeah, that place is amazing.
Sorry, in the chat. You skip Federal Way. Brylang says everybody skips Federal Way.
Ouch.
Oh, well, Federal Way could be included because we did within 25 miles of Tacoma.
So Keith says, I'm staying near the SeaTac airport. Any cool caches there? And the answer is yes. The one we were just talking about. The Museum of Flight is right in that neighborhood. And that, Keats, you got to go in there and enjoy it, buddy. Bring your camera, take lots of video, make another episode.
That's right. It is very, very cool. I absolutely adore the Museum of Flight. Would go there every week if I could, if it was socially acceptable.
Since when have you worried about that?
Keats, and for all of you, the SeaTac airport is halfway between Seattle and Tacoma, thus the name SeaTac. Yeah, I know. Blows your mind. So, and they keep throwing in more Federal Way caches just because. There's some nice caches in Federal Way. Don't get me wrong.
There you go. So check the chat, folks, if you want to.
Yeah. You know, we
used to talk about Federal Way, so
we have the Cornerstone, another bounce cache down this way.
Yep.
Now another good cacher who does usually field puzzles or some really quite difficult hides is, and we never know how to pronounce it. It's either Minstrel or Minstreli. There's a debate here in the area of how to pronounce his name. I always thought it was
asked.
No, we haven't seen him in a while.
Okay.
I always thought it was just minstrel, but it could be minstreli. I don't know. It's got an extra E at the end. That's not.
So it's minstrel with an E.
Minstrel with an E. Did we completely lose our wits? And
no.
Look, here he is.
Oh, thank goodness. That was close.
Another one that's hello. A good series to do is the Valley Cities Geocoin Challenge. Peach is in the chat. Are they official Geo Tours? I think yes, of course they are.
Yeah, it's a Geo Tour.
Yeah.
So you definitely get a souvenir if nothing else, and those are great caches. It's a combination of Team Noltex and Bounce and other cachers contributing caches to that. So I mean, how can you possibly go wrong with that Geo Tour? That's a great Geo Tour.
Mm-hmm. So the Valley Cities, there's a 2019. They've done a couple of series, and as time goes on, some caches get archived. So you may not get the whole series, but they're still fun to do. Yeah. And the Valley Cities is going to get you through Auburn. Yes, a Geo Tour.
Thank you.
Her official scribe has spoken.
So here's a question for you: If British Columbia is the Geo Tour capital of Canada, is Washington State the Geo Tour capital of the U.S.?
Let's say yes.
I'm going to say yes. I'm good with that.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I think Peach is the Geo Tour queen of the Geo Tours.
Well, if that's where the queen lives, then it's the capital, right?
Yeah,
there you go.
That's what I'm going to go with.
An interesting one in the area is the Jimi Hendrix Memorial. I didn't know he had a memorial here in Tacoma before geocaching. So maybe everybody else did. I didn't.
Have you experienced it?
I am experienced. Area 51 for the arts is kind of interesting. It's a bit of a local field puzzle.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Team Noltex does Twist and Shout, part of their gadget series. Yeah. And another Auburn 2015 geocache.
Speaking of Team Noltex caches, the Price is Right got archived, right? Like that's not around anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
We never did properly find that one. That's too bad.
Yeah.
That was one that I just stood there and stared and go, how did he get this out here?
Yeah.
How,
physically.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess we can say it was a Plinko game from The Price is Right. But not just Plinko. It had sound effects. It had, logic to it that as you played, it would play, as you opened it, it would play the Price is Right theme. And then if you didn't win, dun, 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 dun. However the losing music goes. So much
sad
fun.
Trombone.
There you go. I have one of those.
Hey, before we
it didn't go.
Before we go on. Very similar to that. Yeah.
It's a different trombone.
Comments in the chat. And Chat Lackey said there was some discussion around parking in the Seattle area, and it is a little pricey to park. And what we found when we were down there in the spring is that you can find a place to park. You can use the monorail to kind of get back and forth through the downtown core, But they do have scooter rentals, which is kind of a fun, cool way to get around. There's tons of them. And there are also bike rentals, the on-demand ones where there's a little app. So you've got options for getting around, scooters, bikes, etc. So definitely options.
Do some research on them. Check the rates and prices and details. I've used them to get around, but generally speaking, you have to have an app on your phone for it. So if you haven't planned ahead at all and you have to stop and load an app and then create an account and enter your credit card information, you're going to be disappointed that it's taking you that long. So plan ahead and see what's there and check the rates, because I found if I was just going to write it for 10 minutes and get to point A to point B, it seemed kind of pricey. But I think some of them have like an all day rate or a weekend rate or something that you can just hop on and hop off all day, and then it gets more affordable.
Cool.
Good to know. Yeah, if you're, like you say, if you only need it for 10 minutes, a little pricey. But if you're going to do an hour, hop on, hop off, it's not so bad.
Well, and also, if I'm not mistaken, the scooters are actually like they're electric scooters. They're powered. They're not. It's not just like a scooter kick. It's like get on. And drive.
They're electric. Yeah, they're electric scooters. It's not electric and scary, but it's electric. IHAM wants to know, is the Spoon Cache still part of the Valley Geo Tour?
Ooh, I love that.
And it should be. I think it's still up and running.
Yeah, it's on the back of the library.
Yeah, that's one you've got to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Monkey Cake says between transit and Seattle area. Transit in Seattle area has gotten better over the years. Get an Orca card. Yes. An Orca card will let you get on buses and trains and other things.
Yeah.
Did Monkey Cakes throw you off by using the hashtag you asked to be used?
Yes,
but it's a weird hashtag, so it messed you up?
I started reading the hashtag instead of... The Spoon Cache is still active.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
So, the Orca card, I think they also have an app on the phone now that you can plan ahead, and you don't have to get an actual physical card.
Cool.
You can scan on your phone. It's one card, one ride covers all or something. Orca, I don't know.
Something. Yeah, just look for the Orca card. You can get it on a phone. You can get it on a physical card.
You can do it at a trot. You can do it at a gallop. Yeah.
You can do it at a trot. You can do it at a gallop.
Do it at a gallop. Yes.
You can do it real slow so your heart don't palpitate. Just don't be late. Do the Puyallup.
Thank you. Now I feel much better.
I didn't sing the jingle, but yeah.
Thank you, I think. Keats throws in a really good point. It goes without saying, but any Canadian heading back to Canada should have the Arrive Can app.
I would add to anybody coming to Canada.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Chat Lackey. Yeah. You cross the border, whether by train, plane, automobile, ship, no matter how you are arriving into Canada.
Train.
It doesn't matter. No matter how you arrive into Canada, you need to use the Arrive Can app. So look into that, download it on your phone. It only takes moments to set it up, but you are going to be very disappointed if you show up at the border and you do not have that ready to go, because you will get turned around.
That's right. Do you still need proof of vaccination?
I believe so. I'm not an expert on the legalities here. I would say install the Arrive Can app and check out the Government of Canada travel website, because all the current information is in there. I have my vaccinations. I have my Arrive Can. I know what to do because I live here and I live right by the border, so I'm crossing it frequently. But things change, and just because I'm in the habit of doing something doesn't mean that I'm the right person to give advice here.
Wow, that was an incredible disclaimer you gave.
Do your research and don't blame me.
I'm sorry. Land Monkey said I could get into Canada. That always works for me.
Yeah. Well, that only works for some people with the border guards. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So we've hit we've left Canada after doing the 87,000 geo tours available there.
Mm-hmm.
We've come down to Whidbey Island and then gone down to Seattle, jumped right past Federal Way to Tacoma. And, the next stop, you're going to go down that way anyway, is Portland. That's where the original.
That's a big jump.
It is. There's a couple on the way, right? You've got to hit Johnny Island's throne room.
Yes, I was thinking of
Goblin Dust Cache there in Centralia, Chehalis.
And make sure you hit stop at all the red lights on the way down.
Yeah. But, there's a few really good ones along the way. But once you get into Portland or just north into Vancouver and then south into Portland and that area,
beautiful area.
Anything around the original stash has a huge number of favorite points.
Yeah.
The unoriginal stash, 1 in 50.
Yeah, there's lots of great caches down that way, and just a beautiful area in general. Like, I really enjoy being in that Vancouver, Washington, and the along the river there, and Gooниeville.
If you so call it that, sure. But one of them, again, the same names keep popping up for these.
Yeah.
The cache creators. Doctor Who by Goblin Dust. Right? Go during business hours. Same with Johnny Island's throne room. Business hours.
I don't know why that monkey's laughing.
It's almost like there's some sort of backstory there, but I'll just.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've forgotten who Johnny Island is now. But
no, laughing about Doctor Who and go at business hours. Chris.
Yeah. Go during business hours. That's important. Not absolutely necessary, but important.
Recommended.
Sherlock's Happy Cash In.
Yeah. There's a cache here, the name of which is very intriguing to me, and I don't think I've found this one. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Tell me who it's by.
It's by Kool-Aid Wino.
Kool-Aid Wino. It's not a Wino Seattle that we know.
And the cache is called The Adventures of Sock Monkey. I'm intrigued.
I wonder why.
When you're not doing anything, just come on down and go find it.
Okay.
It's easy, right?
All right.
It's all your free time.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, hey, I am going to have free time after next weekend.
You've got great names like Excalibur, Alien Broadcast, 2001, A Cache Odyssey, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Box.
That's funny.
How about Pinball Wizard?
Ooh. I think I know that cache. I think I found that one.
At the arcade. I can't come up with the top score, top run, something.
Yeah.
Not Top Gun. I believe it's in an arcade. You go in and you get the top score.
Cool.
Oh no, that's a physical. The other one I'm thinking of is a virtual.
Oh, okay.
So
anyways, maybe I'm thinking of a different cache. Anyhow,
perhaps.
But yes, lots of great caches down there.
Yeah. How about Nopo Blues? That is a webcam cache.
Ooh.
Yeah. You got to look out for the webcams.
Yeah,
we like those.
Well, speaking of webcam caches and areas we kind of glossed over, Bellingham has 2 webcam caches, if I'm not mistaken. It used to have 2. We better check it. It used to have 2. Chat Lackey's on it.
There's also one in Seattle that we should have mentioned. High Five over I-5.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one.
It's always pointing the wrong way for us.
It seems to be for most people, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just happened to hit it during construction when it was pointed in a very different direction.
Nice.
And got into it. Okay. My little soapbox here. Let me stand up on my soapbox there. Don't post a selfie from your camera at a webcam cache and expect to complete it. Okay. You're to use the webcam, not your camera.
Yeah. Also, if you do stuff like that, you increase the possibility of the camera getting flagged for needs maintenance and possibly potential archive. So you're just making trouble for the cache owner if you do that. I know you want it so badly, but you're not supposed to do that. The one at
Play by the rules.
Yeah, go by the rules. The one at University of Washington in Bellingham is like, you'll probably be going there, I guess, in early August. The students won't be back in there yet, will they? It'll be nice and quiet.
Probably won't.
Campus.
Could be September before they return.
Yeah, and that campus, when it's quiet, I mean, if you like the hubbub and busyness of a university campus, great. But if you like just beautiful architecture and outdoor art, because there's also a Where I Go that takes you right by the webcam, and the Where I Go takes you to all the different outdoor art pieces there. Highly recommend that too. So, Bellingham, great place to go and do a bunch of caching too. But we only had so much time to hit so many cities.
Yeah. IHAM reminded me, the virtual at Ground Control, that was it, Ground Control, is gone now.
Bummer.
I think they closed the arcade, if I'm not mistaken. We talked about that not so long ago, but that was a shame.
Yeah, UDEC says, use the cell phone to take a pic with the webcam. There you go. That's how you're supposed to do it.
No, take a pic of the image of the webcam. No, don't use your camera at all. That's not how it works. How about taking a pic of the webcam? I see it right up there. I'm going to take a picture of it. And you know what I'm going to say? No. No.
There you go.
Well, folks, those are the 4 areas that were 5 areas we picked out. Only could touch on a few of them. There are such great caches in the area. If you stay close to the I-5 corridor, you're going to hit some big, important ones. You know what? If you've got time, go to Spokane. There's great caches there. You can spend a night. You can probably ask Lookout Lisa to open up the Cache Advanced Cache Cave for you.
Depending on your timing, because, I forgot to mention, Lookout Lisa is also going to be at GeoWoodstock. So there you go. And she's going to be at the Seattle event. So I don't know if she's going to be able to be at her shop to open it in between.
That's right.
Those 2 events. Like, give her a break.
And you don't need to go to her shop.
Events. Go see her at the event. And if you're going to be in Seattle, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I hope I'm not spilling the beans on anything. I probably am. But the geocaching vlogger and Komakino are both going to be there at that event as well. And I think they may possibly, don't quote me on this, but they may even be signing comics. So,
should I bring mine to have them sign?
I would definitely do that.
Nice. Well, there you have it. Some can't miss geocaches to hit if you've got the time. I guess that those 2 phrases kind of don't go together, do they?
If you got the time. How's that go?
If you've got the time, we've got the caches.
There you go.
Genie says, not the ape or GCD. Well, yes,
of course.
But we've talked about
previous. Yeah.
That's part of the triad. You have to go hit those. Well, not GCD.
Some caches just go without saying, so we didn't say that.
So we didn't say that. Oh, Wits End, we missed you. You have such a good sense of humor.
Indeed. All right. So I think that's it. Before we wrap up, I know there's technically one more show before GeoWoodstock, but if anybody here is going to be at GeoWoodstock, maybe a reminder of encouraging them to come and visit the Caching in the Northwest crew. Right in the center of all the action is going to be the influencers tent, and Caching in the Northwest is going to not only be part of the influencers there, but we'll also have their own little Caching in the Northwest lounge right beside the influencers tent. So come on by, say hi. We would love to see you. And,
yes.
We really would. Come on by, say hi, shake hands, fist bump. I don't know how to greet people, knock elbows.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
However people greet these days. I just won't do jazz hands. Okay, so don't expect that.
No.
Come visit the land of the lounge lizards.
That's right. We want to meet you. If we haven't seen you, of course we want to meet you. If we have seen you, no, we want to see you again.
And if I have seen you, I've probably forgotten what you look like because I'm terrible with that. So please come and see me again and say, hey, Land Monkey, you don't remember me, but this is who I am. And I'm going to go, oh my gosh, yes, it is. Thank you for taking the time to come and say hi.
Skyhawker is going to be there on Thursday, dropping off a tent. What a guy.
My hero.
You know, I just saw Skyhawker on Saturday in an event, and we tried to coordinate who's going up first. We may have to get together because you may have to take an extra tent with you.
There you go.
We'll see.
We'll see. Thank you, Skyhawker.
Thank you so much, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Am I supposed to do something now?
Yeah, that's you.
I'm like way up in the show notes. So let me scroll down and let's see here. Yeah. Well, how about if I just take a moment to thank Landsharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor?
Yeah.
I can do that. I could say landsharks.ca, landsharks with a Z.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, or heck, you know what? Check them out at GeoWoodstock. And even if you're not buying something, just come by the shark store and say hi, or watch for the busy beavers, because 2/3 of the busy beavers are the land sharks, and just say hi and say thank you for all they've done to help put on GeoWoodstock.
Mhm.
But yeah, they also have the online store, and they ship online orders daily. So check that out. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't also thank our other corporate sponsor, which is Gold Country Geotourism. Gold Country is also going to be at GeoWoodstock. They were recently on the podcast, shared all kinds of great news. Beautiful place to go caching. So go check them out. All right. And folks, you know, we want to thank all our faithful Denali level supporters. I think I'm just about done for the night. That would be Landsharks, Gold Country Geotourism, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cashly, the geocaching app. Hey, I hope we're going to see Nick at one of these events.
Oh, you know, I've shared a tent right next, been right next door to his tent, and at the Ape event.
Yeah,
last time we had it.
Looking forward to that.
So good. Yeah, it was so good to sit there and talk with him and catch up. And
Nick is a great guy. I just really enjoyed chatting with him. All right. Anyways.
And I was amazed at how many people use his app, went up and just wanted to say thank you.
Nice. That's quality. Well, he's a quality guy.
And how many Android users came up and asked,
when's the Android version coming out? And we know what the answer is. As soon as you support it financially, then it's coming out. Yeah. All right. Folks, if you want to know more about supporting this show, or heck, supporting Nick in the Android version, click that Patreon link on the cachingandw.com a website.
Like CRS98 did.
Kev MacD.
Flagman.
Doramore.
What happened there? You got a blank.
I got a blank there. Yeah. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Camp Clan.
Boomer 365.
Kennel Barb.
Our favorite kitchen appliance, the LG 9000.
Utox to Rocks.
Sprouter.
Our favorite cache logbook in a preform tube, Logworks.
Great events host, MNerf.
3 hams and a rose.
My favorite rapping geocacher, MC3 Cats.
How about Skyhawker? Very busy in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
How about GeoNavPro?
How about hanging out with Lookout Lisa? It's Kid Vegas 19.
How about Winos Seattle?
Greenwords.
Just finding our way has apparently been finding their way all over the place lately.
Oh.
Well,
how about JCar?
About Queen of the Geotours, Peach out of Washington.
How about Queen of Vancouver Island, Donners?
Kitty Quest.
The Geo Travelers.
And this next person, I'm not sure if they've decided to actually leave Vancouver, if they're just staying now, but it's Ari 54321.
Subway Mark.
Alarobrick.
Our favorite medic geocacher, Trexer.
Seabeck Tribe.
Wet coaster.
We were talking about these guys earlier and their quality caches. It's Team Noltex.
GSM times 2.
And of course, awesome cacher, bad lunch, gas station tuna.
Awesome cacher and great vlogger Keats94.
Awesome cacher and helper on the trails, Tick Magnet, because he'll absorb all the ticks right around you.
That's quite the service.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about you, Deck?
Coors got.
Genies.
Broncos fan for life.
You got some math? Well, we got a Limax.
Oh, Ackerdock.
Fairwood West.
B Pendragon.
And Teus.
And Sege Health.
Hey, folks, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. If you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Subscribe and give us a review. You can call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask a question, or come over and visit us at the table at GeoWoodstock. Any time of the day. The night, we probably won't be there. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingNW.com. Join us every Thursday, 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paul Woods, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2022 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
the after show.
You know what's funny? You say that we probably won't be there at midnight. I bet you we will.
Yeah, but probably won't be at the same table.
No, won't be at the same table, but Midnight Madness.
But you can come see us. Yeah. Any time of the day or midnight.
There you go.
It doesn't work the same. Oh, let's see.
We got a lot of FATAS coming.
We start with Keats and his podcast baking. Well, not baking, but making pasta for a work day tomorrow and maybe Monday or Tuesday.
Good for him.
In either case, we'll be over. Actually, where we're going is to the iHam and Monkey Cake's house because they're doing Cinnabites tonight.
Oh, Cinnabites. Nice. What else we got? Hashtag between, but we didn't get to it. So there we go.
Right. And it's not between the oldest mystery cache. It's the oldest mystery cache in Washington is at Evie's Landing on Whidbey Island.
You know, the good news here is Chris is going to rethink his hashtag strategy going forward.
Why do you say that?
Just thinking that might happen.
Between you and me.
What else have we got here?
Brightling doesn't know.
Yep. That was when I was commenting on my favorite emoticon, and that would be it. No. Oh,
Genius ended the show for us with the GCD. Yeah, I let it slide this time. It's okay.
Wow. Somebody's feeling generous.
I know. Keats is hoping to get some filming done for an episode this weekend.
Wow. Good for you. I am really looking forward to GeoWoodstock being over and being able to actually get out and get some more content and start putting some videos together again. I missed doing that.
I watched your video on the kind of the tour of the facilities. Very nice.
Thank you.
Appreciate I feel like I can go there now and not get lost.
Well, one of the things that will be helpful is on the social medias for GeoWoodstock, I'm going to be posting the site map. So watch for that coming out by this weekend or over this weekend. But that'll help people. My YouTube video there plus the site map should give you everything you need to know. Nice.
I know a lot of people are working to make some of these big events milestones.
Yeah.
So Breiling is only 80 more finds in 8 days.
Ooh, it's doable, but ambitious.
He's hoping. Well, come on now. Hoping to find enough caches this weekend to make GeoWoodstock by 19,000. You know what? It'd be better if it was a 20,000. Nice round number. So
get busy.
Yeah, go get another 1,000. Yeah. What are you waiting for? Pitter patter.
I feel like, Keith says, I feel like I've relapsed into muggledom since I've had to really slow my find rate to make GeoWoodstock.
Awesome.
And again, look it up and make it your 20,000, and then you don't have to hold back.
Yeah, and a reminder that if you're going to be making the Giga on Saturday, a big milestone event for you, you can pre-celebrate Friday night at the milestone celebration event. You don't have to have hit the milestone, even if you're going to hit it the next day with the Giga. Bring your sign, celebrate with 300 of your best friends, and take some pics and post them. Nice.
So you're not going to let them pre-log the event just so they can get to 15,000 when they need to?
Play the game however you're going to play it. I don't even care anymore.
Ryling says the hashtag should have been betwixt. Betwixt and between.
There you go.
Oh, cool. So much fun, guys. Thank you.
Excellent.
Keats will be at the Nut Milestone event for sure.
Awesome.
Well done.
Looking forward to seeing folks there. Okay.
All right, folks. Thank you for listening tonight. And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.